This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Care arrives. There is now help for lymphedema patients in Nova Scotia, so why is there confusion?
Turning a page, CBRM signs a deal for a long-awaited new library.
And spreading Christmas cheer. This Preston group is handing out care packages this holiday season.
Our next storm arrives throughout the day on Friday with rain and wind ramping up, especially into the Friday evening and overnight time frame. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Health officials in Nova Scotia confirm limited care for lymphedema patients is now available, but they will not confirm which clinics and doctors are providing treatment.
And in one patient's case, it appears to be more confusing than ever. Angela McKyber reports.
Since Laura Johnston was diagnosed with lymphedema in her arm 3 years ago, she's been turned away by Nova Scotia doctors so many times she assumed treatment other than massage therapy wasn't possible.
You just feel like nobody's listening or nobody cares. And they keep putting it back on me. You do the research, you do the research. I've done the research, I found the places, I know the things, but I'm still not getting anywhere.
Then in October, a glimmer of hope. In response to her request for out-of-province care, a letter from MSI said the Department of Health and Wellness has confirmed that within Nova Scotia, the Central Zone Plastic Surgery Group at the QE2 Health Sciences Centre is accepting referrals for patients with lymphedema. But when Johnston sent referrals to that department, she was denied 3 times and told we do not treat lymphedema.
Nobody can give me a name of a doctor. They say there's a doctor out there. This has been 4 or 5 weeks of emailing, but nobody can give me a name.
Her experience comes more than a year after Jennifer Brady and Crystal Ellingson's court win. In that case, a judge ruled the province was unreasonable for repeatedly denying their care. The decision prompted a public apology from Premier Tim Houston, and the province has since had several meetings with advocates to determine the best course of care.
We've looked at the way in which we work with patients directly in order to better understand their needs. There's certainly a lot more work to do. We know that because the expertise is not strong in Nova Scotia, that we need to build that, but again, that has to come over time.
Sarah Brownlow-During is Johnston's massage therapist and a board member of the Lymphedema Association of Nova Scotia. She was shocked to hear health officials are giving Johnston such mixed messages.
I just think that there's a big disconnect, and I think it also reflects that they want to help and they want to find solutions, but obviously one hand's not talking to the other hand as clearly as they should be, so that when letters like this are being sent out, there's actually reality behind what they're saying.
The province's Auditor General is currently reviewing out-of-province care and how patients are treated. Johnston and Brady are both taking part. The report is expected to be done by the end of March. Angela McKyber, CBC News, Halifax.
Last week, Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston said some unauthorized cannabis stores are selling products laced with fentanyl. But Nova Scotia RCMP are refuting that claim. The police force told CBC Indigenous it's not aware of any fentanyl being detected in products it has seized from illegal storefronts. The Premier's office responded that he made the claim based on a conversation he had with a frontline police officer. Opposition MLAs say the Premier should be more careful about the comments he makes on such a serious topic.
Spouting off things without evidence to back it up is I think, unjustified, and there probably should be an apology if they're actually targeting First Nations with comments like that. It's hurtful.
When we're talking about the opioid crisis, which is very real, we need to be talking about evidence, and we need to be talking about data, and we need to be talking about harm reduction. And so launching, inaccurate statements into the universe about what's happening with opioids is very dangerous.
Cannabis regulation and enforcement is a very complex issue, and making changes to that regime and moving forward in an informed way that's beneficial for Nova Scotians really requires that information received, you do your due diligence to ensure it's accurate, and then you engage and you consult with experts before taking steps.
The Halifax Regional Police also say no fentanyl has been found in the cannabis they have seized.
Staying with provincial politics, Finance Minister John Lohr released his December update for the provincial budget today. The latest numbers still show a deficit in record territory, along with projections for continued weak population growth. Michael Gorman reports.
Although the provincial deficit is approaching $1.3 billion, Finance Minister John Lohr wasn't sounding any alarms today. But he also says spending needs to be reined in while continuing to meet people's needs.
We're very aware that there's an affordability crisis in our province. We will continue to invest in that, but we need to just reduce the pace of growth in spending and let revenue catch up.
Opposition MLAs question the government's ability to do that, pointing to the fact that the PCs have overspent their budget by about $1 billion a year each year since coming to power in 2021. That trend continues with this year's budget.
Another $1.3 billion of additional appropriations, and the biggest deficit we've ever had in this province. But at the same time, Nova Scotians are still struggling.
I think they've mismanaged the finances. Year after year, they've tabled deficit budgets, and they've relied on transfers from Ottawa, and that's slowing down. The path that we're on is not sustainable.
Lohr says the next budget will include more details about how his government will tackle the financial situation. But today's update makes clear that challenges persist in the form of Chinese tariffs on seafood exports and population growth that's expected to slow to just 0.5% over the next 10 years. Lohr's government continues to hope potential natural resource development projects and other initiatives can help brighten the financial future. Michael Gorman, CBC News, Halifax.
As we just heard, Nova Scotia's population is on the decline. New numbers show it has dropped for the first time in 5 years. Statistics Canada says the third quarter of 2025 recorded the largest population dip in a decade. This follows a boom that started in the pandemic years. The drop is mostly a result of changes to federal immigration policy, with caps on temporary residents and international students. Nova Scotia was not alone in experiencing a dip. Populations declined between July and September in most other provinces and territories. We got some windy weather on the way. Here's Ryan Snoddon now.
Yes, those Christmas decorations better be bolted down.
Yeah, absolutely. Christmas decorations, make sure they are secured. Make sure that your cell phone is charged up and you're ready to go for power outages. Emergency kits are ready to go, especially if you're in a rural area. You're prone to outages. This is an event that typically does knock out power for some. Wind warnings are in effect across the province and most of the Maritimes. Here comes the system, and it will be spreading in some showers maybe late morning on Friday for the west, but most of us into the action through the afternoon and the evening hours. This is a quick mover, only going to drop about 10 to 30 millimeters of rain. Have a look at the timeline. The winds gusting 60, 70 kilometers per hour, then 80 into the afternoon, then Friday evening, 80 to 100. With coastal gusts in the 110 to 115 range. Certainly possible. Atlantic coast, Tri-County. Note into the Friday late evening time frame, starting to see those winds tapering off late overnight into the early hours of Saturday, but another push of strong winds Saturday. More on that coming up.
Do stay tuned. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
A new library is set to be built in the Cape Breton Regional Municipality. The municipality is striking a deal with a residential developer to get the long-awaited building plan into action. Anna Rack has the details.
It's been talked about for years, but is now becoming a reality. A new library in the Cape Breton Regional Municipality will be built on the waterfront. In a CBRM council meeting, Mayor Cecil Clark officially made the announcement. He says the building will serve future generations.
It also addresses much-needed housing, and it also provides for commercial space and puts more people in the downtown core. Having the Central Library as a signature piece, I believe this will be the only library of its type in Canada that's cantilevered floor-to-ceiling glass over our harbour. So just that alone will be a reason to attract people into the Central Library.
Renderings give a glimpse of what the building will look like. 7 stories. The library would be on the ground floor, and the rest of the building is residential apartments. It will have a central downtown location right on the waterfront, where the Royal Cape Breton Yacht Club used to be.
I think it'll draw quite a large crowd. We've seen examples in Halifax recently that, the numbers of people, the foot traffic that comes through the door has really expanded for libraries.
Pat Bates has been trying to get a new library built in Sydney for the past 15 years. He's a part of the volunteer New Library Build Committee.
I was quite pleased to see the novelty of the arrangements now being made to attract private sector participation in projects of this nature, which are so important to the community, and as a consequence, it enables the community to move forward.
Previous councils have struggled with the $32 million capital cost, but they came to an agreement with Doucette Developments funding the construction up front, giving up the tax revenue on the proposed new apartment block.
For the last couple of years, we've been anxiously looking for a anchor tenant to make this project a little bit more feasible and make it work. And with the support of CBRM, we really think this is the key to making this project happen. So we're delighted that it's come together, and we can't wait to get started.
According to McLennan, construction on the library is expected to begin in either late spring or early summer 2026 and wrap up in 2028. Anna Rack, CBC News, Sydney.
The Halifax Regional Municipality is buying back a historic building it says has become a safety risk. The Turret Arts Space Society bought the Kyber building for $1 nearly 8 years ago. The society had planned to turn it into an arts hub and queer heritage site, but that has not happened yet. Last month, Halifax Council voted in private to buy back the building. Municipal staff say they do not believe the society can raise the $18 million needed for the project. Staff say there is also a fire risk with the vacant building. Council also declined the Society's request for $1 million and a new ownership model with Halifax.
We hoped to get there through a collaborative relationship where we could really dig into all of these details together. And unfortunately, both the report's generation and its delivery happened behind closed doors without that back and forth, without that ability to really work through the details together.
Council has voted to declare the building as surplus and eventually sell it.
Halifax has a new ride-sharing service. Halifax is the first Atlantic Canadian city to introduce Lyft. The ride-sharing company, which competes primarily with Uber, is currently looking to hire drivers. Uber has been operating in the city since December of 2020. Earlier this month, the municipality introduced changes requiring that drivers be licensed individually by Halifax for the first time, matching the rules for taxi drivers.
Volunteers with the Preston Area Food Network handed out Christmas care packages to people in the community today.
They were set up at the church in Cherrybrook, where they provided everything a family will need for Christmas dinner. Gareth Hampshire has that story.
The Preston Area Food Network's providing Christmas dinner care packages for community members, including all the fixings, as well as a gift card for the turkey. They've been handing out the packages in East and North Preston, and today in Cherrybrook.
This is a great impact on our community, where the prices are rising, and it's just great that we have the opportunity to come here and get a little extra to make our Christmas holidays a special one.
The group supports people through its community shelves and is seeing a growing demand at Christmas.
This year, we've seen an increase in need. More people have registered, more people have need in all of our communities. So this is one way of being able to give back.
A team of volunteers are helping out, set up in the Cherrybrook Church.
It brings joy and it warms my heart to know that I'm helping and giving back to the community at this time.
And it's not just about the food. There's a strong sense of community spirit as well.
There's a happy energy. It's not so much anxiety and complaining and, grievances. It's because they're feeling loved, feeling appreciated, they're feeling valued, right? So community engagement and having these kind of organizations is essential to that.
They've provided more than 180 of the packages to families in the area. It's made possible by sponsors, donations, and help from the local churches and other organizations.
It's been a great community effort. And then the volunteers, of course, I have to thank them for always showing up and always coming and helping and putting all of these bags together. So it's been great.
People picking up the packages say the nonprofit is doing important work.
I can't even put it into words. They're just an amazing team, and everything about it is great.
Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Cherrybrook.
Well, the Halifax Public Gardens looking festive. Ryan's up next with his full weather forecast.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
Okay, if you have anything around the yard that might move in a stiff breeze,
tie it down.
Tie it down.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of wind tomorrow and Saturday.
And Saturday, yeah. Don't let your guard down about Saturday because it's also going to be quite gusty, not as strong as Friday evening into the overnight. That's kind of the real meal deal and what we're focused on for tonight. Have a look at our temperatures out there right now. Mild across the south and west of the province. We're in the 1 to 5 degree range and through the southwest of the province. Truro, Parsboro, both at -3 Sheet Harbour. Those temperatures are going to be ticking up, and Cape Breton -2 to -3. Those temperatures will be on the rise overnight tonight, as well as that southwest wind moves in. Not too windy out there right now, but yeah, the calm before the storm. Here's the wind warning that is in effect across the province. Southern New Brunswick, PEI, also in and under this yellow alert wind warning. So as we look at the weather systems map, There's the frontal boundary, which has been moving into the region today, shifting the winds behind it to southerly, southwesterly overnight, as we said. And this is the wet weather that's going to be tracking through, moving into the Great Lakes as we speak. On the backside of this system, snow and blowing snow. We will tap into some flurries from this, but we won't be tapping into the Arctic air, which is spilling in behind this system. Minus 20s, Winnipeg, Saskatoon, up towards Edmonton, and minus 27 to 30, Yellowknife to Whitehorse. Rainfall from this system as it moves through beginning late Friday morning with a few showers in the west. Most of this Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and overnight into early Saturday for Cape Breton. Generally 10 to 30 millimeters of rain. Could see a couple pockets that do exceed that. So we're going to be looking at the temperatures rising as we move through the overnight tonight. And by the time we get to Friday, we're looking at 11, 12, 13, 14 degree temperatures for tomorrow. It is really going to be warm for this time of year. Sustained winds 30, 40, 50, gusting 60, 70, 80 into the afternoon. Strongest winds rolling in from west to east. Let's time out the temperatures and the clouds. You can see pretty quiet overnight. The clouds rolling in. This is high cloud cover early on, so wouldn't be surprised if we do see some sunshine early on. Note the temperatures when you're heading out tomorrow morning, ranging from 4 to 6 to 7 to 8, even 9 degrees. Yarmouth and Shelburne, nearing double digits by the time you're heading out the door. Certainly into the double digits by lunchtime with wet weather, few showers late morning, pushing into the afternoon. But the bulk of the wet weather still well to the west at this point. Then into the evening and overnight, excuse me, we are looking at this rain really ramping up, moving in from the Gulf of Maine. I'm losing my voice. I'm so excited about this. And then you can see this bulk of that wet weather rolling in late evening into the early overnight. This is when that heaviest rainfall is going to come down. This is also when we're going to be seeing the strongest winds as well. 11, 12, 13, 14 degree temperatures still at midnight tomorrow and into early Saturday morning. Behind the front, the winds go from south to west, and temperatures are going to start to fall by 5 a.m. Saturday morning, maybe even a few flakes starting to mix in, certainly by 8 a.m. And note the temperatures early Saturday will continue to drop below the freezing mark as we work into Saturday evening, and so the potential for some icy conditions setting up. Let's time out the winds one more time. Gusts 60 to 70 early to mid-afternoon, gusting 80 to 100 kilometers per hour Friday evening. And coastal gusts possibly reaching 110 to 115 Tri-County, even as the winds move out over the Bay of Fundy along the Atlantic coastline. Those coastal regions are the most prone to see those gusts getting up into that 110 to 115 range. Could even see some gusts that do top that in places like Beaver Island, and also lace wet winds are likely to gust to 120, maybe 130. Note Saturday morning, a bit of a lull, and then those westerlies really strengthen a late morning into the early afternoon. We're looking at gusts 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Then tapering off to the later stages of Saturday. And just want to quickly mention, we got another system coming in on Sunday, but this is a pretty light one. Maybe some light accumulation for New Brunswick, a few showers for Nova Scotia as temperatures do bump up to 5 degrees on Sunday. And then the other system to watch late Tuesday into Wednesday, Tom and Amy, that's Christmas Eve is Wednesday. And that looks like it could bring some accumulating snow as well.
Be forewarned.
So maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
A flower shop in PEI is making a lot of people happy. Every week it donates flowers to the local hospice for the rooms of people nearing the end of their lives.
And it's making people smile through difficult situations. Have a look.
Well, we're here at Moments Flower Shop in O'Leary at PEI. My name is Stacey McWilliams, and I'm the owner of the shop.
So we're here today talking about an initiative that you guys take part in where you give flowers weekly to the palliative care unit here in O'Leary. How did this kind of get started and come about?
Well, we actually just got a phone call one day from Roseanne Banks from Hospice PEI, and she was just feeling the water to see if there would be something that we might be interested in doing. And we decided to give it a try, and just kind of snowballed from there. Well, every Wednesday morning when we come in, we go through the cooler and pick out some new colors, something we try to do it different every week so that they're not getting the same thing all the time. We try to do it seasonally, so next week will be a Christmas arrangement. So they'll have some reds and whites and maybe some sparkles. All right. Get them all wrapped up, keep them out of the cold today. There's always a volunteer from Hospice PEI who drops in every Wednesday, and we have the bouquets all ready for them, and they take them over in the hospital. In every patient's palliative care room, they have vases, so they arrange the flowers for them and have a visit with them.
My name is Chrissy Getson, and I'm honored to be here at the O'Leary Community Hospital Palliative Care Unit today. Back about 2 years ago, our family spent quite a few weeks here with my mother-in-law, Norma Getson, as she spent her final weeks living here and being cared for by the wonderful staff and caregivers here at the Palliative Care Unit in O'Leary. Norma would receive a flower delivery weekly, and it was so very welcomed by her. It brightened up her day. She would begin to anticipate what color they were going to be this week and what the variety of flowers were going to be in her bouquet. Well, Norma had the most beautiful smile and laugh. It was really infectious, and they really brought out that smile in her, and we were just really grateful. It made us aware that there's people out there that still care, and they are so kind, and they recognize that just a small little act of kindness can make a really big difference in somebody's day, a really big positive difference.
Coming up, what we know about the multi-million-dollar class action settlement following the 2015 crash landing in Halifax. Nova Scotia law firm says it has reached a multi-million-dollar class action settlement in a crash landing at the Halifax airport 10 years ago. The $18 million settlement still needs court approval. Ray Wagner is the founder of one of the 3 law firms working on the case. So if you could take us back to 2015, what led to that crash landing at the airport that day?
It was March 28th, late in the evening. Air Canada 624 left Toronto for Halifax. There was quite a significant northeaster that was going on, and it was contributed to a lot of snow squalls at the airport. And the main runway is 05, which runs from the south to the north. And as the aircraft approached in the early morning hours of the next day, March 29, before 1 o'clock, the aircraft didn't have a proper approach. And as a result of that, it took out the power lines that service the area and crashed short of the runway. In fact, about 3 seconds before the crash, the aircraft, they realized their approach was inappropriate and lifted up the aircraft. And fortunately, that was very fortunate for the passengers that took place. But nevertheless, it hit the ground and then skidded on the runway, causing a lot of damage to the undercarriage. In fact, it took the undercarriage out, took one of the engines off the aircraft, and the nose of the aircraft was also taken off.
How did that incident impact the passengers?
So with the passengers, there were 133 passengers and 5 crew on the aircraft. We've represented, our group of 3 law firms represent 131 of those passengers. 2 had opted out. So the impact on the passengers was quite varied. Most experienced traumatic event with respect to stress and post-traumatic stress, anxiety of flying, anxiety and stress that was caused by the accident. And there was multiple injuries, physical injuries as well. As you know, it was reported early on that this was a so-called hard landing. And it also reported that there were 26 to 28 passengers injured. Now, that is not true. It was more than a hard landing, as evidenced by the photographs of the aircraft. And also, most of the passengers, and we were dealing with individual claims, vary from insignificant injury to very significant injury, and far beyond the numbers that were initially reported.
Well, what are they saying about the settlement now?
Well, the passengers have been waiting a long time. They've only been notified very recently. We're reaching out to each and every one of them individually over the next month or so. Given the time of year, it's difficult to contact everybody. But nevertheless, the feedback that we are receiving is very positive. Positive to finally be able to close the chapter on their lives after this traumatic event and to move on and to receive the compensation that so many of them deserve.
And ballpark, how much will they be getting once all the legal fees and court fees are taken out?
Well, it hasn't been determined quite yet in terms of those numbers. What we had done, and we did it over the course of the first 3 years, this is 10 years in the making. Over the first 3 years after the litigation was filed, the first year pleadings were done, and the next 3 years was in essence spent trying to negotiate each individual case with the passengers involved in the negotiations. And we were able to negotiate over 100 of those cases, but unfortunately had hit an impasse. And at the same time, there was a motion with respect to the cockpit voice recorder, the so-called CVR, and Air Canada and the Transport Canada refused to release it. And so we brought that motion to court. We're successful in the Supreme Court, went to the Court of Appeal, was successful in the Court of Appeal, and went to the Supreme Court of Canada. We were successful there as well. That took another 3 years. So when you start adding up all those years, you can account as to why it has taken so long, unfortunately. But that's the reality, and we persevered. The passengers persevered. They were very supportive in what we were doing. They were well informed of every step of the way. So it was a collective work in terms of the passengers working with the law firms to be able to come to this conclusion at this time, just short of trial. We were headed to a 45-day trial starting at the end of January. And so we were fortunate to not have to put everybody through that and the uncertainties, and to come to what I would say, and I'm sure that the court, I hope that the court will agree with us, is a very generous settlement.
Well, who was named in the settlement? And if the court does agree with you, who will end up paying the compensation?
So there are 5 defendants. So the ones that are paying, Air Canada is paying the substantial amount. That'll be seen in the documentation that we file with the court for the approval hearing. It'll be all broken out. The Halifax International Airport Authority are also participating in the compensation, as is NAV Canada, which is the navigation system at the airport. There was also Transport Canada through the federal government, the Attorney General of Canada, and Airbus. Neither of them have contributed to the settlement. So it's only the other 3 parties that have actually done so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for walking us through it. We appreciate it.
Very nice, and thank you for your interest.
Coming up, CUSMA demands Washington orders Canada to lift provincial bans on U.S. alcohol or risk unraveling the free trade deal.
And winter storms are worsening the humanitarian crisis in Gaza as the UN warns Israel is still blocking aid from entering the territory. Welcome back. The United Nations and aid groups are warning that operations in Gaza are at risk of collapse.
Earlier this year, Israel announced a new registration process for humanitarian groups, but those groups say the process could threaten the delivery of critical supplies. Rafi Boudjikanian has the latest from Jerusalem.
With the weather calmer in the region now, Palestinians and aid groups are surveying the damage wrought by Rainstorm Byron late last week in the Gaza Strip, whether that's from all those floods or from walls that were damaged by bombing during the war. Palestinians held a protest in Gaza asking the international community for mobile homes, caravans to shelter them for the winter months in order to replace those non-winterized tents.
فهمت علي؟ إن انظروا إن بنظرة العطف والحنان. فهمت علي؟ مطلبنا احنا مؤقت إنه يجيبوا لنا كرفان بدل الخيم.
With Israeli-controlled entry into Gaza, aid groups say restrictions on goods flowing in are already quite tight and could get tighter still in the next couple of weeks, with a December 31st deadline looming for organizations to register under a new process, giving all of their staff names to Israeli authorities for vetting. The United Nations calls this set of rules highly politicized and says it would force groups to violate international legal obligations. One group I spoke to says it's been in Gaza since the 50s. It's tried registering under the new process and has not heard back since June. It says its international staff would have to depart sometime next year if Israel does not recognize its entry into this new process, leaving only locals behind and making aid delivery even slower, it says.
We have warehouses full in Cairo, in Jordan, and in the West Bank with our, shelter supplies, bedding, winter clothes, mattresses, kitchen items, medicine, and hygiene items.
Israel says the new process is necessary in order to root out Hamas members among these aid groups. It says more than 20 NGOs have already successfully registered under the new process, but has not disclosed how many could be impacted if they're not able to do that. Israel also says that it is committed to getting aid to the civilian population. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Jerusalem.
At a meeting today, Canada's Prime Minister and Ontario's Premier found themselves fielding questions on Washington's latest trade demands. The U.S. laid out conditions to extend the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement, or CUSMA, next year. The CBC's David Thurton reports on what those are and how Canadian political leaders are responding.
Good morning, Premier.
Ontario's Premier back on Parliament Hill meeting with the Prime Minister. The two leaders signed a new deal that's supposed to help speed up resource projects in that province, but instead faced questions about U.S. trade, including bans on American booze.
When the Prime Minister and President Trump come up with a great deal for both countries, we'd be more than happy to bring in some maybe Kentucky bourbon. But until then, we're going to hold off.
This after American Trade Representative Jameson Greer listed Washington's demands when the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Trade Agreement, or CUSMA, comes up for review next year. Those include lifting bans on American booze, changes to laws that require U.S. web giants to finance Canadian media content, plus market access for American dairy. The Prime Minister unwilling to budge on that.
We continue to stand by that. We'll continue to protect supply management.
Trump is not backing down either.
Tariffs, my favorite word, tariffs.
Even raising the possibility in recent days of tearing up the North American trade deal altogether. In an interview with CBC News, Carney said he didn't hear that when he last met with the Mexican and American leaders.
He did not say any of those things. What we talked about, the two presidents and myself, we talked about the process for reviewing, renegotiating CUSMA.
Trade talks, though, have not restarted ever since
America's jobs and growth are at stake.
This anti-tariff ad paid for by the Ontario government aired in the U.S.
And that was the best ad that's ever been run, 12.4 billion views. We wanted to bring it to the attention of the American people.
The Prime Minister said Canada is ready to sit down any day and negotiate with the U.S. But downplaying expectations, Carney said the next opportunity to negotiate probably won't happen till the CUSMA review. which starts next year. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
What a difference a year makes. Last December, the federal Liberals were poised for electoral obliteration, and Mark Carney was not in politics. You know the rest of the story. The CBC's Rosemary Barton recently spoke with Prime Minister Mark Carney about the year behind and what lies ahead.
The Prime Minister says he got into politics to respond to the moment Canada was facing, the threat of Donald Trump and an economy in critical need of growth. Elected just over 7 months ago, Carney's rapid ascent to Liberal leader and Prime Minister is just one of the many ways Canadian politics has shifted so dramatically in the past year. Carney came close to a majority, but it was a decision by two former Conservatives in recent weeks to cross the floor to join the Liberal caucus that has brought him even closer. Carney sees those defections as a sign that how he is addressing the country's challenges is what is needed.
I think that there is a spectrum of MPs with varying degrees of recognition of the serious situation the country is in, varying degrees of recognition that we need action, not slogans, that we need cooperation with the provinces, that we need to come together and work together.
Carney would not say whether there are ongoing attempts to recruit more members of Parliament to his side, but he did have an answer to Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's criticism that the Prime Minister should be respecting the will of voters and not trying to make, quote, backroom deals.
I want to go back to what my question was, which was, are you comfortable getting a majority government through people crossing the floor?
I am comfortable commanding the confidence of the House of Commons and getting through the House of Commons, getting support in the House of Commons and votes, and obviously votes and support in the House of Commons for legislation that is going to protect Canadian communities, that's going to build this country, that's going to make our country more independent, more sustainable, more prosperous.
Of course, a large part of what got Carney elected was his promise to stand up to Donald Trump. The Prime Minister points to the efforts he is making to strengthen the Canadian economy and diversify trading partners. So far, though, there is no tariff deal with the U.S. president. But on the future of the trilateral CUSMA trade deal, Carney says he got clear indications at his last meeting with Trump and the Mexican president.
What you understand Donald Trump's position on CUSMA to be right now? You had that meeting with him and President Sheinbaum not too long ago. Yes. At that point, did he say the deal is dead, I'm ripping it up? What indications did you get?
He did not say any of those things.
In fact, the Prime Minister says while a better deal with the United States is possible and important, it is not everything. Rosemary Barton, CBC News, Ottawa.
This is the time of year many Canadians are about to take or plan a winter trip down south, and not just for the sun. U.S. ski resorts are usually a popular destination for Canadians, but not this year. As Kyle Bax reports, they too are feeling the pain of the dramatic drop in visitors from this side of the border.
On the eve of the busy holiday season, U.S. ski resorts are dreading a drop in Canadian tourists this winter.
We are looking at the economic trends. We're looking at the environment that we're in and encouraging folks to continue visiting.
A hit to many mountain towns who rely on visitors traveling south across the border.
Just checked our occupancy rates and we're 25% under 2024 rates, so it's considerable.
In this Montana town, credit card spending by Canadians has plunged 39% so far this year compared to last year.
It's disappointing and sad. I mean, we totally understand that for many people, they're choosing not to visit the United States right now.
The boycott in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on Canadian goods and his suggestions that Canada should become the U.S.'s 51st state. Businesses are trying to coax Canadians down south, offering discounts and deals. At this Montana brewery, there's a special only for Canadians, 2 beers for the price of 1.
Certainly we're seeing less Canadian tourism, and that's very noticeable.
Many Canadians avoid U.S. travel for reasons beyond politics, including the low value of the loonie and the annoyance at the border with changing requirements to enter the U.S., including registering and fingerprinting for longer stays.
Those are all barriers to travel. When presented between two destinations and one appears more hassle-free, maybe more affordable, the traveler may choose in that direction.
There aren't many Canadians here, but polling shows that among Canadians who frequently travel, their resolve is starting to slip with every passing month.
It's softening, but we're not out of the woods yet. So I don't want to sound too optimistic, because it wouldn't take much to set it back yet again.
Skiers and snowboarders may still travel south if the conditions are right, including plenty of powder.
It's always about the snow, and someone has great snow conditions, people are going to go to that ski area.
U.S. ski resorts will know soon whether their northern neighbors are ready to visit, with the make-or-break holiday season fast approaching. Kyle Bax, CBC News, Whitefish, Montana.
In many big cities, you can find binners, people who earn money by collecting and returning refundable containers. They walk the streets in extreme temperatures and face other hardships. In Montreal, an organization has launched a project that's providing them with help and dignity, one bag at a time. Have a look.
As far as we know, this is really the first tool of its kind. These people are working incredibly hard. They're not valued, they're not seen, and they're working with whatever they can find on the street, plastic bags, shopping trolleys. We got in contact with Les Valoristes, and they put us in touch with working binners so we could go with them and see how they do their job and what it's like. The material, it's a lightweight industrial tarp, so it's weatherproof, very affordable. There's a drawstring opening at the top. There's a lot of binners work at night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It's dark, drivers aren't going to see them. So this was really an important feature that they appreciated. The pilot project is 25 bags. So we're getting those out into the streets in Montreal, and we'll be working with the binners that are using them and getting their feedback. And then the hope is that we get funding from different municipalities, if any private organizations want to get involved, so that we can expand the program and produce hundreds and hopefully thousands of bags in the future. Is going to give them the respect that they deserve. And this is what it's really all about, is giving these people the dignity that they deserve, because they work incredibly hard and their work benefits society, benefits the city, benefits the environment. And we're really proud that this is something that's starting in Montreal, and we hope it's just going to grow as big as it can get.
Canada's main stock index rose today, helped by strength in technology stocks, while U.S. markets also gained ground. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
Yeah, the grass is back. I can
It
see
is.
my whole backyard. The warm-up is well underway.
Yeah.
At least the ice is gone, right?
That's right.
People love snow or they don't love snow, but I don't know how many people like ice on
Nobody
the
likes the ice.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to watch for the potential for maybe some icy patches Saturday evening into the overnight as temperatures drop back below the freezing mark. And the question everybody now asking too is like,
White Christmas?
White Christmas. Are we going to have a white Christmas? Late Tuesday into Wednesday, which is Tuesday into Christmas Eve, does look optimistic if you're hoping for snow. So let's have a look first at our viewer picture of the day, and a beautiful one. We're going to Guysborough County. This is Torbay, and have a look at this.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Trish McCormick says this is one of her favorite spots. She's from Cape Breton. One of her favorite spots to flock to in the wintertime is Torbay. Yes, thanks to Trish for sharing. Trish for sharing that rather. Wind warnings in effect across Nova Scotia, southern New Brunswick, and PEI. They're the winds that are going to ramp up through Friday, gusting 80 to 100 kilometers per hour into Friday evening, and could see some coastal and exposed areas getting into the 110 to 115 range. So this is outage-worthy wind for sure. So make sure everything's charged up and make sure those inflatables are deflated. There's Saturday, which is still going to be gusting 60, 70, even 80 kilometers per hour for Saturday afternoon. And it all tracks in with that system. Let's show you the quick 7-day though. Showers Sunday, freezing up early next week, and then late Tuesday in through Christmas Eve. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the snow lovers.
You bet. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan. It is a very hairy Christmas at the London Zoo as some inhabitants swing into the holiday celebrations early.
Curious Capuchins wasted little time monkeying around as they rummaged through red stockings stuffed with their favorite snacks.
But larger primates, like the resident gorillas, received bigger servings in sacks. Some of the apes may have found a way to upcycle the bags their holiday treats came in.
The zoo is home to more than 8,000 animals. The Magic of Christmas event runs until January the 4th.
And they're enjoying it, you can tell.
Yeah.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.